Hello and welcome everybody to this video. Here we want to be talking about what is actually low self-esteem. Chances are that somebody has said something to you or you read something on the internet about topics like, jealousy or being cheated on or being taken advantage of or really being not treated nicely in a relationship, and you wanted to find out why that is. What are you doing wrong, for example, right? And you stumbled across the term of low self-esteem. Or you're watching this video because you want to deepen your understanding of what self-esteem actually is and what low self-esteem specifically means. And that's what we want to be doing in this video. So my goal for this here is that you have a clear understanding of what we mean by low self-esteem, so you feel the sense of relief that you actually know, okay, this is where my issues come from, and all those things, they are all related to this one core topic of low self-esteem. And not only do I know, I now know as well how to change that, and this is what I want to be showing you as well. I have put together a healing meditation that you can find in the video description if you really want to go to an emotional process where I will guiding you through that to heal that. Once again, it's in the video description, it's for free, I don't charge anything for it. I would highly recommend you doing that after you've watched this video. So what is low self-esteem? The first thing that I want to make crystal clear here, it is a consistent feeling. And what I mean by that is we usually tend to see things like depression or anxiety or low self-esteem as something that we have, right? In the same way as somebody has more dark skin and more dark hair and somebody are more pale and have blonde hair, this is something that they have, that they are. This is not quite true for low self-esteem. It is a consistent feeling. In the same way as for depression, that means that this person feels consistently over time feelings of being put down, sadness, and so on. In the same way, low self-esteem is a feeling of feeling bad about yourself consistently over time. It is a feeling. It is not something that you have. So don't let anybody tell you this is the label, this is what you have in some clinical sense, as if that would be something that can be diagnosed in that way. It is a consistent feeling, and that gives already rise to some liberation where you can feel, okay, if I get myself to feel different about myself through actually healing this wound, then things will change. And all those things, right? Jealousy and being cheated on and being taken advantage of, abusive relationships and not being able to make money, not asking for favors and feeling bad about myself and criticizing myself and being angry towards other people and being very judgmental, being very concerned about my self-image, all those things, they can fall away once we found like the root thing. And I've also made another video that you can check out. Now, there are many symptoms, but there's only one universal cause. And this is what I want to explain right now. Many symptoms, I've just explained them in very detail. All those things that I've just been talking about, these we call symptoms. These are the things that we want to change. And it's important to see that these are also not isolated things that we have. Yeah, like blonde hair, dark hair, it's not something that we have, and they are not isolated. They all come together to one cause. And that's actually the beautiful thing when we see, okay, once we've addressed this root cause, all those things will be alleviated or even fall away completely. And here I want to explain the root cause that I've also addressed in other videos. So I want to give you a brief overview so you understand. This is why you came here for, right? You want to understand what is low self-esteem. So in the relationship with our parents, when we were very young children, and we felt we didn't quite get the love that we wanted in the way that we wanted, we as children tend to assume that it must be because that there's something wrong with us, because we are undeserving of this love. And the reason why we're doing this is twofold. Number one, we are not able to see things from an adult point of view, in somebody else's shoes, so to speak. What I mean by that is we cannot see, okay, daddy beat me or mommy is emotionally unavailable and drinking all the time and can't show the love to me. This is because they are unhappy with their own lives. We do not have this capacity to see things from somebody else's point of view as children. So the only option that is left is to see it must because there's something wrong with me, right? Or something wrong with me. Because mommy is drinking, there must be something wrong with me. When she's shouting at me, it must be something wrong with me. We don't have the capacity to see that she's frustrated with her own life. We do not have that. The second reason is it gives us a basic sense of security and protection in the family. And here's why that happens. As children, when we don't feel we're getting the love that we want in the way that we want it, we still have a basic need for security even more so than love. So a child needs to feel, my family is safe, I am being protected, my parents are good caretakers and good people and I can trust them. The child can only feel that when it then makes up the illusion or the delusion that when daddy beats me or when mommy shouts at me when she's drunk or all those things, that it must be because there's something wrong with me because I don't deserve it, right? Because when we then feel I don't deserve it, then we still have the sense of security in the family. It's like the family's perfect, mommy and daddy are good caretakers, it's just I don't feel their love because I am so terrible and worthless and I don't deserve it, right? This is what the child makes up in order to meet its need for security. It rather sacrifices its self-esteem and the way it feels about itself than having loss of the sense of security in the family, because this is what the child needs to feel, otherwise the whole world will collapse and it cannot bear that. It can bear feeling bad about itself by constantly criticizing itself and beating itself up. I'm not good enough, I haven't done that, mommy is drinking, that's because of me, daddy beat me because I have deserved that. This is what the child can bear. It is not nice, it's not cool, but it can bear that. What it cannot bear is the sense of like, my parents are messed up, they're beating me because of their own emotional issues, and basically I'm innocent and actually deserving of love, but they can't give it to me, they are bad caretakers. This is what the child cannot see. Now, whether this is in such an extreme example, or such in an, or just in a dynamic where you feel like your parents were emotionally unavailable or emotionally unpredictable, right? Daddy comes home, some days he's there, other days he's not there emotionally, you know, you can reach him, some days he just sits in front of the TV, other days he comes and plays with you, and you then feel, okay, on the days where he doesn't play with me, it must be something wrong with me, because you cannot see as a child that daddy is just stressed out by a 14-hour workday. You cannot see that, right? This is why we need to assume that we are undeserving and we are worthless. And actually by seeing that, it gives us great relief where we see, okay, this was just a very idea that we made up in order to protect ourselves, in order to meet our need for security back then. Now it doesn't serve us anymore, so we can actually let go of that. And how to do that, you find that in the healing meditation, down in the video description, and in the other videos that I've made about this topic. Here, it is more about really understanding what low self-esteem is, so you have a concept in your head that you can then decide what to do with it, right? The third thing that I want to address is it is not a fixed trait. You can change it, right? Low self-esteem is not something that somebody just has or somebody doesn't have. I've explained to you that it happened in a family dynamic, right? In a child-parent dynamic. But it doesn't mean that people who had probably an unhealthy family dynamic, they just have this low self-esteem and they can't do anything about it. They can change it. And this is what my work is basically all about, bringing people to the root cause of their issues, seeing that, okay, up here I have like some jealousy, or I'm in a relationship with a partner who's jealous, and you know, I'm always checking how I'm looking, and like I don't want to offend anybody and step on anybody's toes, and all those things, they are connected to this root issue and these few family dynamics that I have. And actually, if I address them, if I take like 3 months or 6 months and really go and feel through that, then I can actually heal that. This is what I would like to get people to understand, right? And this is what this video is all about, not understanding things conceptually, but understanding a general roadmap, so to speak, how you can explore specifically what happened in your past, why you now feel the way and behave the way that you do, right? It's not a fixed trait, and you can change it. And I would also really encourage you to change it, because it will just give you a greater sense of aliveness and a greater joy in your life, but also for your children, even more so for other people. Because here's the dynamic. What you don't clear out in yourself, right? What you don't heal in yourself, you will invariably pass on to your children. And here's why that happens. People with low self-esteem tend to be very critical towards other people, and tend to be even more critical so towards yourself. So even if like low self-esteem doesn't apply to you, you can be sure if you find somebody with low self-esteem and they are critical of other people, they are 100 times more critical towards themselves. Now, and when I'm critical towards myself, I will be also critical towards my children, right? So because I felt I need to be critical towards myself in order to meet the expectations I have of myself, to meet my parents' needs, so to speak, so that they then take care of me, right? What we learned in childhood, what we explained before. So I need to be very critical of myself and always checking whether I'm doing right, whether I'm earning their love, whether I'm doing okay. When you have this attitude about yourself, you will invariably have this attitude towards other people. So they need to do something to meet your needs. When you want your kids to be there to meet your needs, you're already messing them up. You have some expectations and they will feel the same sense of low self-worth, low self-esteem, which comes from, I am only okay unless I do this for mommy and I do this for daddy. I hope you see how this dynamic is passed from like grandparents to parents to you, that you will then pass to your children if you don't clear that out right now. And the way to clear that out is to really feel that you can come from a place of unconditional love. Yes, there are rules, there are things that kids should and shouldn't do, but you can criticize the behavior and not the person, right? When you don't have the capacity to see in yourself that, okay, there's my behavior that was wrong, but I'm totally okay the way I am. With low self-esteem, we make ourselves wrong in the core of our being. So we tend to make other people wrong also in the core of their being, making them wrong as who they are instead of making wrong what they did, right? The behavior. This is a very crucial understanding. So this is what I would like to end on here, right? If we want to do something for the next generation, right? If we want to raise children who are like leaders in the world by first being able to lead themselves, then leading a relationship, and finally like leading a family, this is what we need to clear out. And this is why this is so close to my heart, because also with those things cleared out, so many areas of our life will transform. We will be able to be more assertive. We will speak our truth. We will also be able to set boundaries and say like, hey, this is how I don't want to be treated. You don't treat me that way. If you do, it will have consequences, and not like you're being some kind of mat that people can stumble, like, you know. Also being taken advantage of, right? These things will fall away. You will have a much greater sense of like joy and also purpose, because you feel you're actually deserving of having a higher purpose in your life. Many things will transform when this core issue is addressed. And the way to address it, once again, we have a healing meditation where we go deep and like resolve those things on an emotion level. And we also have other videos where you can explore this in more depth. Thank you very much for watching. And if you have gotten anything out of this video, I would like to invite you to leave a comment. For me, of course, because it boosts the reach and I can reach more people, but also for others who read your comment and who can then see, wow, this person has learned that, and maybe I can learn this. Or yes, this applies in my case as well, right? Real heartfelt sharings of like truth and people being vulnerable, it is rare on the internet. Probably you came here typing this into YouTube because you've read on some lifestyle blog something about low self-esteem, right? But usually those things, yeah, to getting to this level of vulnerability that people really need to get to in order to heal those things, this is quite rare. So I would like to encourage the people who watch my videos to really share from the heart, right? Really share what's been your process, what things have you really changed with this process, and many other people can feel inspired by you doing so. So thank you very much for watching, and I wish you a beautiful day.
Hey now, take a step outside and seize the day now. Set aside your worries, it's okay.